With us is Namit Saxena, advocate on record of the Supreme Court. Ashutosh Dubey is advocate. Also joining us is advocate Tala Ahmed Rashidi, who's a spokesperson of the Rashtriya Ulema Council. I'll come across to you first, Namit Saxena, and let me begin by asking you what the court has, in a sense, done today is that it has, of course, in its own words, tried to do some kind of a balancing act, balancing the concerns of all sides. At the same time, it is going to hear the matter day after and perhaps hear all the sides before taking a final call on what is to be done, at least in the near future. So clearly a very difficult balancing act, but at the same time, one of the important points that was being made by Dr. Subramaniam Swamy is that the court has not outrightly, stayed the proceedings, something that at least the petitioners in this case were citing the Places of Worship Act and were hoping the court would do.
Yes. See, what the court has done is court has simply clarified or rather qualified the order of 16th May 2022. So the court has not given any say that the trial will not proceed. There is no stay that the survey will not proceed. There is no stay of any kind. There is no order of any status quo that the trial will not proceed in a particular manner. Trial will go on as it has been, and the survey will go on. The court commissioners will submit their report as they have been directed by the trial court. The only qualification which has been added by the Supreme Court is on the 16th May order. That's it. So there is no qualification. Also, what the Supreme Court has also indicated during the hearing is that the defendants have already filed an application under Order 7 to 11 before the trial court in Varanasi. So let them pursue that application. So that the argument which they are taking that the 1991 Act, Section 3 and 4 of the 1991 Act bar that civil court will not entertain such a petition or such a claim, that can be taken before the trial court itself. So the Supreme Court has said we will not interfere right now at this. You, whatever grounds you have taken, take that before that Order 7 to 11 application before the trial court itself. Let the trial court adjudicate it in a manner that the trial court wants to do. This is what the Supreme Court has also indicated. Now, the Solicitor General appeared for the state of UP and he sought papers because he was deprived of the paper book by the petitioner before the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court has now posted day after tomorrow that all parties...
All right, very interesting proceeding that is currently underway. In fact, the Ahmadi, who is in fact the lawyer for the petitioner, has once again said that please order that till Thursday, civil court will not proceed. Justice Chandrachud has said, no, we cannot order. So there is no stay on the proceedings of the trial court. This is something that had initially been pled and had later also once again been pled by the court. Also, the court has gone on to say that the DM must do everything to protect the Shivling. There is no stay on the civil court proceedings. The place where the Shivling has been found has to be protected. At the same time, Wazu and Namaz allowed in that area, but the Shivling must be protected. The order shall not impede access for Namazis. At the same time, the Solicitor General just before that had said that if someone touches the Shivling with fee, there will be a law and order problem. In fact, the Supreme Court said that the May 16th order shall stand restricted to the extent District Magistrate of Varanasi may ensure that the area around the Shivling is protected. So all eyes on the DM of Varanasi now and what action is taken by the DM to ensure that the Shivling is protected, and at the same time the Namazis and those who carry out the Wazu in that area allowed to go on with their practices as well. Let me take this across to Advocate Tala Ahmed Rashidi, spokesperson of the Rashtriya Ulema Council. Advocate Tala Ahmed Rashidi, you have the court which has not stayed the proceedings. Now this was a plea of the petitioner. Stay नहीं दिया गया है एपेक्स कोर्ट के द्वारा और कोर्ट का ये कहना है कि इन्होंने बैलेंस्ड ऑर्डर दिया है. एक तरफ नमाज और वजू अलाउ की जाएगी और दूसरी तरफ जो शिवलिंग या अलेजेड शिवलिंग है उसको प्रोटेक्शन दी जाएगी डीएम के द्वारा.
देखते हैं कि परसों में क्या होता है. थर्सडे को जब सामने आएगा, एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज इसमें जो सामने उभर कर आई कि कोर्ट ने जो अयूबी साहब की जो भी वो थे उसको एक्सेप्ट किया है, उसे कबूल किया है और उसे कंसिडर किया. बल्कि एक दो जगह शॉकिंग भी रहा कि क्या बिना कमीशन की कार्रवाई पूरी किए हुए उनको सुन लिया गया, उनकी एप्लीकेशन ले ली गई. तो इस तरह की शॉकिंग चीजें भी सामने आई हैं. इसे एक्सेप्ट भी किया है कोर्ट ने. आज जो ऑर्डर है परसों तक चीजें सामने आएगी. कोर्ट ने ये भी क्लैरिफाई कर दिया कि जिस तरह से एक तरफा एक्स पार्टी ऑर्डर किया था सिविल कोर्ट ने वाराणसी की, उस तरह से सुप्रीम कोर्ट एक्स पार्टी ऑर्डर नहीं करेगी. इसमें वो सारे पक्षों को सुनना चाहती है, उनके तमाम बातों को सामने रख कर ही कोई किसी ऑर्डर पे आएगी, किसी जजमेंट पे आएगी. सो लेट्स वेट फॉर थर्सडे, लेट्स सी व्हाट फर्दर प्रोसीड्स इनटू दिस, देन वी कैन कम टू अ कंक्लूजन एज सच. or we can come
Okay,
to a
let's wait
comment
for
as such.
Thursday. Let's wait for Thursday. Let me bring in Ashutosh Dubey as well. Ashutosh Dubey, now the point that is being made is this, that, the court, of course, had a number of pleas before it. At this point of time, also, it would perhaps want more information and notices now being issued. But at the same time, it has allowed for both parties' concerns to be addressed, but it has not outrightly stayed the proceedings, which is something that is also noteworthy, given the fact that that was one of the main pleas. The Places of Worship Act was being seen as one of the main pleas that is being put forth by the petitioners.
जो वर्शिप एक्ट ये नरसिम्हा राव जी जो गवर्नमेंट कांग्रेस की गवर्नमेंट के टाइम पे ये कानून लाया गया था। ये कानून लाने के बाद सीधा ये एकदम काला कानून है, जिस हिसाब से वहाँ सीधा बोला गया था कि ये कानून 15 अगस्त 1947 के बाद जितने भी मंदिर है, जितने भी मस्जिद है, जितनी भी चर्च है, उनमें कोई भी सुधार नहीं किया जा सकता, कोई भी तोड़ नहीं किया जा सकता। ये सिर्फ हिंदू समाज को बदनाम करने के हिसाब से ही कानून लाया गया था, जिसको आज इस कानून को निकाल देना चाहिए। और जिस हिसाब से ये कानून अभी जिस हिसाब से ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद के बारे में फैसला आया है, ये 4 तमाचा ना ओवैसी जी के साहब के मुंह पे एकदम अच्छा बैठा है। जिस हिसाब से उन्होंने वाराणसी कोर्ट ने डिनाई किया कि जो एडवोकेट और कमिश्नर है उनको रिमूव करने से डिनाई कर दिया। दूसरा, कोर्ट ने पहले भी कह दिया था कि ये जो सर्वे है चालू रहेगा लगातार, तहखाने की भी खोज की जाएगी। इसमें भी अगर चौथी चीज में उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि अगर कोई भी इंटरफेरेंस होती है, कोई भी इसमें किसी भी तरह का दखल अंदाजी कोई करता है, तो सीधा उन पर कानूनी तरह से कार्रवाई की जाएगी और वक्त पड़ने पर हम ताला भी तोड़ सकते हैं और सर्वे की जा सकती है। तो सीधा मैं कह सकता हूं कि जैसे कि इतिहासकार थे, उन्होंने अपने हिसाब से कहा था कि भारत में 30,000 से 40,000 आज भी ऐसे मंदिर है जिन्हें तोड़े गए हैं। लेकिन मैं 30,000 से 40,000 मंदिरों के बारे में नहीं बात करना चाहूंगा।
यहाँ वकील बैठे, वकीलों के अंदाज में बात करनी चाहिए, भावनाओं में बहने की जरूरत नहीं। वकील को वकील के अंदाज में ही कानून के नजरिए से बात करनी चाहिए। ये प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट की बात
लीगल पॉइंट्स ही बात कर रहे हैं, इसमें पूरे लीगली ही बात किया जा रहा है। We will get down to all of those aspects as well, but I want to quickly bring in Vikram and R, who's a spokesperson. Let's not get into a side debate, please. Please allow me to conduct this debate. I want Vikram and R to come in now. Vikram and R, who's a spokesperson of the VCK. Vikram and R, very clearly what has happened at this point of time is that the courts also have decided to allow both the sides to come forth, present their cases. It has not outrightly, stayed the proceedings, as was being claimed that there is a grave miscarriage of justice because the Places of Worship Act is there in place, and therefore the proceedings of the Varanasi court itself should be stayed. Now, that is not something that the Supreme Court has done at the moment. It has allowed for the protection of the area where the Shivling was found, and at the same time has allowed that namaz and wuzu be carried out as well. So the court itself saying that this is a balanced judgment coming out.
It is a grave injustice done to the secular fabric of this country. See, Places of Worship Act 1991 clearly says that any worshipping areas which have been in practice since 1947 should not be disturbed at any cost. That given only exception to Babri Masjid, and we have reservations in Babri Masjid issue also, which I'll come to it later. This is not the topic of discussion now. But this Gyanvapi issue is like, it is clearly seen that the fountain, it is a fountain, it is a broken fountain, which has been clearly seen. The video is showing that it is nowhere a Shivling. So in that case, why should the the BJP persist on calling it a Shivling and bring a different issue altogether?
Sir, simple question, sir. Simple question. Shouldn't we wait for a court process, a judicial process? The Advocate Commissioner's report is yet to be filed. In the next 48 hours, that is expected to be filed. So if there is objection being made to the petitioners, one set of petitioners approaching the court, surely we should not jump to conclusions. Let the due process be followed.
Yeah, let the due process be followed on not any biased manner. Let it be in a very proper manner, which is what I would say. Like any party should be allowed to be a.
पाया गया है उस एरिया को डीएम को आदेशित किया है कि वो प्रिजर्व करे और वहां पर किसी तरह का घुसपैठ न होने पावे, और जो दूसरा आदेश उन्होंने दिया है कि उस एरिया के अलावा मस्जिद के अंदर जो मुस्लिम समुदाय के लोग हैं वो नमाज अदा कर सकते हैं, जब तक कि इस पिटीशन में जो प्लेंटिफ नहीं आते, अपना पक्ष नहीं रखते, तब तक के लिए व्यवस्था आज की गई है। लेकिन जो सबसे खुशी की बात है कि जिस एरिया को जिला कचहरी ने सील किया था, जहां शिवलिंग पाया गया है, उस एरिया को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए, उसको सील करने के लिए माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने भी आज डीएम को आदेशित किया है, डीएम वाराणसी।
कितने लिमिट के अंदर?
ऐसा है कि जो एरिया जिला कचहरी ने आदेशित किया है, उस सारी एरिया को माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी कहा है कि उसको प्रोटेक्ट किया जाए।
कितने लोगों को नमाज अदा करने के लिए बोला?
नहीं, इसमें इसके बारे में कोई मेंशन नहीं है। नमाज अदा करने पर कोई रेस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है, लेकिन जो वुजू के लिए जो वो जिस एरिया का प्रयोग करते थे, उस एरिया को कल वाराणसी के आदेश से सील कर दिया था, वहां वो वुजू नहीं कर सकते।
तहखानों को लेकर भी कुछ
नहीं, माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने सिर्फ नोटिस जारी किया और उस एरिया को प्रिजर्व करने का आदेश दिया है जिस एरिया पे शिवलिंग पाया गया है, और जहां पे वो जो जलाशय था, जहां की वो वुजू करते थे, जहां पे शिवलिंग था, उस एरिया में वुजू करते थे, वहां पे उसको सील करने का, प्रोटेक्ट करने का आदेश जारी किया।
अंजुमन ने स्टे मांगा था प्रोसीडिंग पे,
उस स्टे को उन्होंने मना कर दिया है। किसी तरह का स्थगन आदेश देने से माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इनकार कर दिया, यह कहते हुए कि जब तक प्लेंटिफ नहीं आएंगे, और उसकी सुनवाई की अगली तारीख 19 तारीख रखा गया है, प्लेंटिफ आएंगे, उनको सुनने के बाद ही आगे का आदेश को पारित किया जाएगा।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक्सपर्ट स्टे देने से मना
कर दिया।
और सर्वे रिपोर्ट को लेकर के
नहीं, सर्वे वो चाहते थे कि प्रोसीडिंग को स्टे किया जाए। माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने उस आदेश को खारिज कर दिया, उस प्रार्थना को खारिज कर दिया। उन्होंने कहा कि हम किसी प्रोसीडिंग पर तब तक आदेश नहीं रोक लगा सकते जब तक कि हम जो प्लेंटिफ है उनको सुन न लें।
All right, let's get a quick word from Nilashish on this. Nilashish, important points being made over there that, in fact, one set of lawyers at least coming out to say that while namaz and wuzu would be allowed, it would not be allowed in the area near the Shivling. So, can you take us through what exactly is it that this lawyer has just come out and shared in terms of what the court has ordered just a few moments ago?
Well, this was a lawyer for the Hindu Sena, Barun Kumar Sinha, who in fact came and spoke to the media on outside the Supreme Court right now, where he is saying that there has been protection granted to the area where the structure, which is the Shivling, has been found apparently, but Wazu and Namazis will not be impeded. They will be allowed to continue to do the same. What he is claiming, of course, is that around that area which is to be protected, Namaz will not be allowed, rather Wazu will not be allowed. So that is something that we must wait and watch, because that is a claim from another side. When the detailed order comes in, as we have reported, it has been stated very simply that the area will be protected by the DM. As we were discussing earlier on the show, it is basically not a stay at all, but it is a qualification in a way of the 16th May order, which basically just says to allow Namaz and Wazu to continue, but to protect the area in question here. Other than that, of course, we did say this earlier as well, there is no stay.